Hello.
Good evening. Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening,
Uh,
Mustafa. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. आप मेरा speaking test reschedule करें.
My
मेरे को
pleasure, my dear.
I was having a leg twist, so I couldn't go. I couldn't attend my speaking test. So
Mm-hmm.
I just mailed IDP as well. I called the customer care, but I didn't get a proper response. But then
Mm-hmm.
when I saw your channel and I have seen like you have kind of support in these cases. So when I as soon as I approached you, I got a positive feedback from you. Then
That's
and
what we always try to do, dear. Doesn't matter
yeah,
where
sir.
you are,
Yeah,
because it happens that students do not get any kind of reply from these agencies in time,
exactly,
although
sir.
they pay them and they
Yeah,
do
exactly.
expect such kind of
And it's
service
not a
from
small
them.
amount. It was 15,000, which is actually a big amount for
That is
exam.
true.
And
और अभी
finally,
एंकल कैसा है आपका?
now it's good, sir. Thank you.
चलो
And
रीशेड्यूल हो गया ना आपका स्पीकिंग?
yeah, yeah, yes, sir. Thank
तो
you.
चलिए आप बात कर लेते हैं आपके ओवरऑल एग्जाम एक्सपीरियंस की। सो यू हैड योर कंप्यूटर डिलीवर्ड एग्जाम, राइट?
Yes, sir.
और
Exactly.
ये मैं बहुत बार स्टूडेंट्स को रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ कि अगर आप कंप्यूटर डिलीवर दे रहे हैं तो हमें एक्सपीरियंस जरूर शेयर करें। पता है क्या होता है,
Yeah, yes.
पेपर बेस्ड एग्जाम हो रहा है एक महीने में 4 बार, और
Yes, sir.
कंप्यूटर डिलीवर तो एक एक दिन में 3 3 बार पेपर हो रहे हैं। और यहाँ से अगर हमें रोज के रोज डेटा मिलना शुरू हो जाए कि
Yes.
कौन कौन से राइटिंग टास्क्स वगैरह आ रहे हैं, तो यहाँ पे रेपिटेशन होने के चांसेस बहुत बढ़ जाते हैं। तो
Yes,
वही
sir.
टास्क्स आपको
There
दोबारा
are
नजर
many
आए।
benefits, I believe,
या
of computer delivered test. अब जैसा कि मैं राइटिंग का सॉरी
हम्म
रीडिंग का जो था, when
हम्म
I was practicing in my book,
हम्म
I felt it is getting a kind of complex because अब वो questions रहते next page पे, आप बार
ओके,
बार pages को turn करके you have to see each and every thing and you
दैट इज
have to tally the question with answer.
करेक्ट।
But
हाँ।
whereas if in computer delivered test, it wasn't like that. The
हम्म।
screen was split into two half, and on the
या
left side I was having a paragraph, and on right side I was having my questions. So it
राइट
was
राइट
so easy
राइट।
for me, and it wasn't time consuming like it happens in paper test.
आर यू वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल?
No, sir, I'm a student, and
ओके,
I've
बट
completed
आजकल
my 12th
स्टूडेंट्स
grade.
कंफर्टेबल होते जा रहे हैं ना स्क्रीन कंप्यूटर यूजेज के साथ।
Yeah,
अदरवाइज टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, तो मुझे तो अगर आज भी ये एग्जाम देना हो मैं तो पेपर बेस्ड ही बुक करूंगा, क्योंकि मैं स्क्रीन पर इतना ज्यादा टाइम फोकस कर नहीं पाता हूँ।
yeah. I
और लास्ट
actually
टाइम
other
मेरे के
thing ये
साथ
भी है.
किसी स्टूडेंट की बात हुई तो उन्होंने रिकमेंड किया था कि अगर आप किसी तरह के ग्लासेस पहन ले, कुछ आपको कुछ
Yeah,
ऐसा
yeah.
लगा ग्लेयर
Computer
वगैरह का
erase.
कुछ इशू है?
Uh, so everything is there, but the thing is, you need to spend so long time continuous on the screen. So,
दैट इज ट्रू।
it's true that you get kind of stress
हम्म
in your eyes and in your brain as well. But
हम्म।
I believe the task gets easier there
ओके।
in computer thing, and like even my brother, he has written in paper based. So I was asking his experience. He said like in listening there are like many students sitting in a hall and
हम्म।
audio is being played loud. In this situation, I
रियली
think
कहाँ
we
पे?
feel like अब listening test है सर, मेरा भाई का हुआ था.
कौन सी
तो
जगह पे?
I guess IDP in Hyderabad.
इन
So
हैदराबाद? तो वहाँ के लाउड स्पीकर पे प्ले करते हैं?
loudspeaker in the sense एक speaker sir. Like
नहीं,
there are
ऐसे तो
bunch
नहीं
of
होता।
students.
देयर हैज टू बी लाइक वायरलेस हेडफोन्स।
No, no, it's only for computer delivered sir. Whereas
नहीं,
in
यहाँ पे तो
paper,
पंजाब में तो जहाँ पे भी एग्जाम होता है तो वायरलेस हेडसेट्स मिलते हैं डियर।
no, it doesn't
वैसे तो
happen
करना ही
like
बहुत
that in
मुश्किल है,
Hyderabad
क्योंकि
actually.
हमें भी पता है, हम क्लासेस में भी
Yeah,
जब बच्चों को प्रैक्टिस कराते हैं, वी हैव
yes,
अ डिस्कशन डे वीकली वंस और ट्वाइस, जिसमें हम एमसीक्यूज हो गए, ये जो मैप्स होते हैं इनकी डिस्कशन करते हैं। एंड आई पर्सनली से दैट फ्रॉम द एक्सपीरियंस इटसेल्फ कि जो वहाँ के एको हो जाती है, क्योंकि
yeah, yeah,
इतने इतने बड़े ऑडिटोरियम्स टाइप हॉल्स रहते हैं, बैंक्वेट हॉल्स रहते हैं, तो यहाँ पर
exactly,
जो जितनी अच्छी हम साउंड क्वालिटी एक हेडसेट से एंजॉय कर सकते हैं वो तो स्पीकर से मिलेगी नहीं।
exactly.
एंड
Yeah,
दैट्स
but my
स्ट्रेंज रियली।
brother, I
आई
guess
आई वाज अनअवेयर
last
ऑफ दिस
month
थिंग।
itself, last month I guess he has written his Ielts or 2 months back hardly, and I have
हम्म
asked his experience. So he was saying like in part of listening, there will be a like bunch of students sitting in a hall, and there
हम्म
will be two, I guess, uh, sirs sitting in front of them, or
हम्म।
might be invigilating something,
या इन्विजिलेटर।
and there will be a speaker, and it will be like continuing the audio, and it will be for all the students sitting in the hall. I
Mm-hmm.
believe there are a bunch of students, like around 15 to 20, and I think in this situation, the student get panic much,
Yeah, यहाँ
like
तो
seeing the
नॉइज
atmosphere
भी
and
हो
all.
जाता है कई बार आउटसाइड तो
Yeah,
उससे
yeah,
भी।
it won't be that clear and personal to the student.
तो आपका राइटिंग का टास्क वगैरह क्या था, उसका एक्सपीरियंस कैसे रहा? इज योर
Even in
टाइपिंग स्पीड
writing,
गुड?
sir, like I believe most of them can write speed in like while typing and all.
हम्म।
And like if you have to erase something, if you have to cut something, it's time consuming in
पेन
paper
एंड
based
पेपर और
exam.
स्क्रिबल भी हो
Whereas
जाता
I
है, अगर
believe
पेन यूज
like in
करो तो
computer
आप।
I have,
हम्म।
yeah, I have saved much of my time.
हम्म।
It's like only a thinking part, but
करेक्ट।
the like typing is, I believe, much faster than you write each and every letter.
एंड
You
एक
just
चीज
press
और भी
and
है, जैसे हम फॉर एग्जांपल ऐसे लिख रहे हैं
exactly,
और
yeah,
हमें लगा कि हमारी टास्क रिस्पॉन्स की लेंथ थोड़ी सी कम रह गई है, इसको बढ़ा देना चाहिए। तो इन बिटवीन कहीं पर अगर हमें एग्जाम्पल फिट कर देना है या
yeah, yeah,
एक दो सेंटेंसेस टू मेक द एक्सप्लेनेशन और बेटर करने के लिए, ताकि थोड़े से वर्ड्स और कंज्यूम हो जाएं, तो कंप्यूटर पर ये करना काफ़ी इजी है।
exactly,
और
sir. That's
पेन एंड
very easy.
पेपर में लाइक इट्स रियली अ डॉन्टिंग टास्क।
It's
स्टूडेंट्स तो
very
पूरे का
difficult.
पूरा जो लिख लेते हैं उसे रेज करना स्टार्ट कर देते हैं।
It's difficult to think like that in that
हम्म।
sense. And apart from this, one more big advantage is you don't need to count the words. It will
या
be
ऑफ कोर्स,
displaying there below
इट्स डिस्प्लेइंग
the
थ्रू
word
आउट।
count.
हम्म।
So that's much easier task. But when I was practicing for IELTS and it was on paper and book, so I had to count each and every words to get an idea like how much
To
I've
be
written.
super sure that you are doing the right
So there are, I
thing.
believe, countless benefits for computer delivered tests.
And the best
I have
part is that you
experienced
can
it.
book any date, any time, and the
Exactly. And
results
the
get
result
been
is in three to
declared
four
in like
days.
hardly 3 to 4 days.
Yes, sir.
Probably by tomorrow you will get your result, and
Yeah, most.
I really appreciate if you share your result with us as well.
Sure, sir. That will be my
And
pleasure, sir.
and
It has been
may I
your
know the
kind support.
tasks that you have seen in your exam, task one and task two?
In writing, sir.
Mm-hmm.
In writing, task one was just a minute, let me recall. It was yeah. Is it the government promotes to the transfer business from urban areas to rural areas?
Mm-hmm.
Do you due to the problems faced by the people regarding accommodation and transportation? So
Mm-hmm.
are you satisfied with this advocate of government?
This is writing task two, essay, I guess.
Yeah, this was essay task
Yeah,
two,
I have
and
seen this essay. It's been repeated. That's what I'm saying. If we can get to know more and more writing tasks in the computer
yeah,
delivered, we can
yes, sir.
have a fair enough idea of what can be there in the paper base. Because that's been, it was just like to the Corona lockdown we had. One of
Yeah,
our student went for the writing for the actual exam, the pen and paper base. This was exactly the task. It should
yeah,
be
yeah.
moved, considering the
Even
problems
my
that
friends
people
who
are
have
having
written,
in
yeah,
the urban areas. It should be moved to the rural areas. And what was the like task one? You were saying something about your friend. You may go
yeah,
ahead.
there are my friends who have written IELTS, and when I took their suggestion, like which is better,
Mm-hmm.
is whether I need to take computer based or paper.
Mm-hmm.
Then most every one of them were like suggesting me paper and pen, like is the
Mm-hmm.
better option. They said me, but when I did a quite small research on YouTube and on internet, like how it works, then I have justified that the computer based test has all the benefits which I want.
See,
Whereas in paper,
when people
I
do
don't
not
think,
have the experience, they still don't
yeah,
hesitate to
they
give
don't
their
try to
suggestions.
take a step. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. They
rather
don't
than
try to take
saying
a
that
step.
I have experience of pen and paper, so I really cannot say much about the
Exactly.
computer deliver, they would say or start saying that it
Yeah,
is better because
yeah,
they
paper
have
pen
been
is
through
better,
that.
they would say.
Yeah.
In these situations, most of the students they prefer paper pen, but I now believe that computer test is the best one.
So may I know the task one if you remember
Um, task
the
one,
letter?
it was
You had a GD exam, right?
sorry,
It was a GD or academic?
it was academic, sir.
Okay, so it should have been a graph. So what kind of graph was that? Line, pie chart.
Um, yeah, yeah. It was there was a table given in which the data of the movies, like the different categories, like in a
Hmm.
comedy,
The different
drama.
genres of the movies.
Yes, the different categories of movies and
Hmm.
their like how much percentage of movies were launched in the year 2002 and 2010 were
Yeah, it's
compared
fine. It's fine.
with
It's more than enough.
with
So, mhm.
the
So
box
it was
office
just
collection.
one table or two tables, or was
It
just
was in
one graph or two?
combination. It was combination of two tables. At one side, it was number of the percentage of films launched in that year of that category. On the like adjacent to it was the table of the box office collection of the movie
Okay,
in the
and
year 2010.
both were
Like,
tables.
yeah, both were tables, and
Okay.
it was combination of two data in one
Fine.
table.
So it gets easier because the more the graphs you have, it still doesn't have any kind of impact. Still, you have to write only 150 words. So I
Yeah,
personally
yeah,
believe if you have
yes,
more than one graph, never panic because it actually makes your life easier.
yes,
And
sir. We have
finally,
much content to
mhm,
write then in it.
yeah, that's true. And finally, if I talk about the cue card on the speaking,
Basically, in part one, the ma'am she asked me regarding the barbecue topic.
barbecue, I have shared
Yeah,
on YouTube and it is
yes, sir.
available in Speaking Booster as
She
well.
asked me a number of questions regarding barbecue, like which dish is your favorite in barbecue? Where do you
Mm-hmm.
prefer to go? With whom you prefer to go? Like
Correct.
three to four questions in part one,
Mm-hmm.
apart from my personal details.
Mm-hmm.
And in part two, ma'am asked me regarding the cue card. Like the question was,
Mm-hmm.
which law do you believe is
Mm-hmm.
the best that government should implement in your country?
So law is yeah,
Yeah,
it is there,
yeah. So
and
I have
then
said
mhm.
the law should be, made against the child labor. Then I have spoken words on it.
Is it a law that you want the government should make?
Yeah, against the child labor.
That's what you said, but the question was talk about a law that the government you want to make.
No, it was like which law you want the government to implement in your country.
Yeah, it's one and the same thing. So you want that the government should come up with a particular
Yeah,
law.
against the
Okay,
child,
so
a law which is against child labor.
that is correct. So it's not about
Yeah,
an existing law that is already there, but the one that you're looking
yeah,
forward कि ऐसा होना चाहिए.
yeah.
Okay, cool. And of course, the later half should have been related to the laws and
Yes,
everything
exactly.
and their
There were questions,
implementation.
ample of questions.
And do you recommend the students to purchase my book, Speaking Booster, that contains all the contents in written format?
Yeah, obviously, sir, because as you have said, the topics which are getting repeated, and you do have the knowledge of it, and
Hmm.
probably you might have been through all the recent papers, and it might be suitable for them to score good by taking a speaking book.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Mustafa, for all of
My
your time and
my
sharing
pleasure,
your
sir.
exam experience. And
Yeah,
don't
sure, sir.
hesitate to share your result with us as well.
Sure, sir. It will
Okay,
be my pleasure.
that's pretty much
Thank you,
more.
sir.
Yeah, bye
Sure, sir.
bye.
Thank you.
Take
Bye, sir.
care.